Welcome to math. We are going to cover surface area today. We have been talking about 3D figures. We talked about the different kind of 3D figures, how many faces they have, how many edges they have, and how many vertices that they have. We also talked about their nets. If we have a square pyramid, how it'll fold out, or how a triangular prism might fold out. So you guys have been practicing a lot with that. Today we're going to talk about surface area. And our I can statement is I can use the nets to find surface area. We're going to say that you have a package to write. We're going to pretend these are straight lines because I'm a human. No human is ever perfect. We all make mistakes. All right, here is my package, and just like magic, when I connect these corners, my package comes through. Okay, so I have a rectangular prism here, and I'm going to cover that rectangular prism with wrapping paper. Oh, kind of like I'm wrapping a gift, maybe for a birthday. And hence, my birthday's March 27th. So I'm wrapping this gift, and I want to find out how much area is on the outside of this gift. This is very different than volume. Volume is going to be the inside space. I want to find how much wrapping paper I'm going to need to wrap this gift. So here is a net of the gift that I am wrapping. I kind of laid it out here, and it has measurements on it. This is going to help me to figure out the surface area because I have different pieces that make up that gift. The surface area of this gift so that I can figure out how much wrapping paper I need. So I'm going to go ahead and color in parts of this net that are going to be exactly the same. So right here, this space, this is going to be one of the faces of the rectangular prism that is going to be exactly the same as this one, because when we have a rectangular prism, we have parts that match up that are the exact double of each other, because if they didn't, then we would have a completely funky shape. It wouldn't have the nice vertices that we need. It wouldn't have the nice edges. So then we have these would be the end part of the gift, or the rectangular prism. These two are going to match up. They're going to be exactly the same. And then finally we have these pieces here that are going to be exactly the same as well. So really we only have to find, because we're doing surface area, not volume, we're going to only going to have to find 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have to times those by 2 because there's a match for them. So let's start with this blue one. Well, we know that area is length times width. On this blue one, we have a 3 up top and a 2, so I'm going to do 3 times 2, which equals 6. And now I know that my blue surface area is going to be 6. So I'll have 6 there, and I'll have 6 here. Well, then I'm going to go to my red ones. For my red ones, this one has a measure here, a length of 1, but I'm not quite sure what this is, so I'm going to turn my head all the way. I'm going to travel all the way here, because the length from here to here is going to be the same as the length from here to here. So that's actually going to be a measurement of 2. So I have 1 times 2. So my area of that one is going to be 2. And since I know that that's going to have an area of 2, and that has an area of 2, I'm going to leave those sitting right there. And last, I'm going to go to my green one, and I see that this has a length of 1, but I have to find out what this side is. So if I kind of travel all the way up here, this side goes from here to here, which is the same as this to here. So this is actually going to be 3 across. So I'm going to put in 3 in my thing here, and I'm going to get a surface area of 3. So my green sections will be, why do I keep doing that? My green sections will be 3. And then all I have left to do is to add them up. So we have our 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6. So when I have that all written down, I kind of chunk it together. And I don't want to forget to label this. This is squared inches. This is how much it would take to cover the outside of the box. That's what surface area is. Okay, so let's try this again. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of color code it. So I'm going to start with my blue again. So I'm going to find the things that are going to be the same. This one and this one are going to be the same. Then my red, these are going to be the same. Then my green, all the space here in the middle. Okay, so my blue, I'm going to start with my blue. I need length times width. Well, in the blue, I see there's a 1 right up here. I need to know how far it is from here to here. And if I take a peek over this way, I have an 8. So I'm going to have 1 times 8, which is equals 8. Alright, then I'm going to go to my red, and I'm going to find, okay, well here I know from this to this is going to be 5, but I need to know how far it is from here to here. If I check my other red one, they say from there to there is 1. So for that, I'm going to do length times width is 1 times 5. And then for my green, I have from here to here, which this down here tells me is 5, and then I need from here to here, which this over here tells me is 8. So for my green, I have 5 times 8, which equals 40. Oops. 40. All right. So I could go here and I could just take each one and multiply it by 2, because there's a green here, a green here, a blue here, a blue here, a red here, a red here. So you need 2 of each one of these, because if I only use 1, I'm only covering one of the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and double each of these right now. Times by 2, times by 2, times by 2. So here I have 16, here I have 10, and here I have 80. So then I have 16 plus 10 plus 80. So 80 plus 10 is 90. Then I have 90 plus 16. I would use some chunking mental math there. The 16 can be broken up into 10 and plus 6. So I'm going to take the 10 and add it to 90 and make 100, and then add the 6 more. And so I would have a total of 106 inches squared. Let's try one. Okay, so this one is not made into a net yet. So we're going to take that and kind of make it into a net. So I see that it has this front face and this back face, and there's a face in between it. So we're going to have 4 that way, and we're going to have one off this side, and we're going to have one off this side. So there's actually two things that I could do with this. I can go ahead and do the net like this and then label it. So we know that this is going to be from this side to this side, it's going to be 3 centimeters. No matter what, it's going to be 3. We just need to know how tall each of these are going to be. So that's going to be 2, which means there'll be 2 here. And then we need to know this space, and that's going to be 1. Alright, so let's separate this out. We got our blue one, will match with this blue one. We got our red one, will match with this red one. And we got our green one that will match with this green one. So let's do blue first. Blue has 3 times 2. And there's 2 of those, so we're going to times those by 2. Then our red one has 1 times 2. And there's 2 of those, so we'll times those by 2. And then our green one has 3. I bet I'm supposed to have a 1 there. Yep, I am. I bet I'm supposed to have a 1 there. 3 times 1. See, I know this because I have to use each one of the numbers 2 times. So here's a 3, here's a 3, here's a 2, here's a 2, here's a 1, here's a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do my multiplication here. 3 times 2 in this top one. 3 times 2 is 6. Times 2 more is 12. And then here, 1 times 2 is 2. Times 2 is 4. And then this last one, 3 times 1 is 3. Times 2 is 6. And then I just add it up. Well, 6 plus 4 is, that should be 10. And 10 plus 12. So I'm going to have 22 centimeters squared. Okay, so there is a formula for this, and we've been talking about formulas with our 2D figures. Our formula for surface area is, it sounds tricky, but it's not really. 2 times length times width, 2 times width times height. This is what I was saying earlier, where you have to have 2 of each, plus 2 times length times height. So I said there was another way to do it. So we could just grab these numbers and plug them in. So we're going to plug a 6 in anytime you see an L. We're going to plug a 4 in anytime you see a W. And we're going to plug an 8 in anytime we see an H. And so we times these. Oops, that's a times. And then we have to times it by 2. Times these. Times it by 2. Times these. And then times it by 2. So then here for our blue ones, we would get 24 and then have to times that by 2. For our red ones, we would get 32 and then have to times that by 2. And for our, oops, yep, I'm writing in red, there we go. For this one, we would times that and then times it by 2. So 2 times 24 is going to be 48. 2 times 32 is going to be 64. And 2 times 48, 96. And then we would have to add all those up. And those ones I can't do in my head, so I'm going to write them up here. 48, 64, 96. Line them up, add them up. 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 6 more. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Bring up my 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 6 is 11, plus 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So my total on this one will be 207 units squared. All right, no secret number today. We will get back to the secret number. But, as always, happy mathing.